You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show podcast on KPEL965.com.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Breaux Bridge, Lafayette, broadcasting from the Matthew James Tax and Wealth Management Studios.
He hopes a judge lets him off the hook. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Former President Trump making an attempt this time to get the classified documents criminal case thrown out. Fox's Steve Harrigan is outside the court near a passing train, as you'll hear, in Fort Pierce.
Former President Trump, as well as two aides, have been charged with mishandling classified documents. What we're going to see today really is a hearing. Attorneys for the president are expected to try to dismiss this case entirely. That's going to be based on the Presidential Records Act. So really, it's going to be an attempt to claim presidential immunity.
Of course, he's using that same immunity claim, trying to delay other looming criminal trials. A new Fox News poll gives former President Trump a lead in two states he lost last time, up by 2 in Pennsylvania.
President Biden is also watching Arizona potentially slip away in this new Fox News poll. He is down 4 points there now, 49 to 45 after winning there barely in 2020. The top issues in Arizona: economy, election integrity, border.
Fox's Peter Doocy at the White House. The president will campaign today in Michigan, where a jury is deliberating a second day in the case against a father for his son's crime.
James Crumbley and his wife Jennifer are the first in the nation to face charges for a child who went on a school shooting. The case is seeking to convict James for involuntary manslaughter. Jennifer was convicted last month on 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. The state's case against James is simply that there were warnings and he did nothing to prevent the shooting.
Fox's Mike Tobin. He's also accused of buying the gun Ethan Crumbley used to murder 4 classmates at Oxford High School in 2021. He's in prison for life after pleading guilty. Another report out today shows inflation is on the rise again, this time at the wholesale level. Producer prices increased 0.6% last month from January, double what was expected. The annual wholesale inflation rate also jumped from 1% to 1.6%. America's listening to Fox News.
Don't let everyday aches and pains keep you from living your best life.
I don't think I really understood what people meant when they talked about pain until I started feeling it myself.
Start feeling better every day with Relief Factor, a daily supplement designed to support your body's fight against aches and pains.
Not only do I move better without pain, I just feel better.
Created by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients that target 4 metabolic pathways to address pain. Relief Factor doesn't just mask aches and pains, it helps reduce or even eliminate them.
Today, I do the things I love, and it doesn't occur to me to think about pain.
You can feel the difference all day, every day.
Join the over 1 million people who have tried Relief Factor's 3-week Quick Start Kit. It's only $19.95. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF. And feel the...
South Louisiana's biggest St. Patrick's Day celebration is back. Patty in the Park, Saturday, March 16th at Park International, downtown Lafayette, presented by Bud Light. Featuring The Good News, 337, DJ Digital, and the People's Champ, Paul Law.
What it do is Power Wow, I'm the People's Champ.
Tickets available now at Eventbrite.com and all Legends locations. The only official after Patty party happening at Downtown Legends Patio. Official Patty in the Park t-shirt by Mike James Entertainment. Wristbands by The Ruins. Designated driver tent by Service Chevrolet. Powered by OUS Fiber.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. That means it could be you, your best man, your worst man. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Bikers Against Child Abuse empowers children to not feel afraid of the world in which they live. For more information, visit BACAworld.org. Our helpline is 866-885-9474. BACA, breaking the chains of abuse.
This hour of the Moon Griffon Show is brought to you by 1% Lists Acadiana. Call Shannon LeBlanc today at 337-522-0682. Save on fees, not on service.
The views expressed in the following show are those of the hosts or hosts only. They do not represent News Talk 96.5 KPEL or Town Square Media.
Hi, y'all. Welcome, Moon Griffon Show. We're here for another one on Friday Eve. on the Moon Griffon Show. Anyway, great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. It is a Matthew James Tax and Wealth Management Hotline. I had John Blanchard on yesterday. Enjoyed it. Learned a lot. He said a lot of things that I've been saying, things to worry about. And government is hurting us, and it's hurting us bad. They're going to continue to hurt us. They're going to hurt us through high inflation. They're hurting us through the Green New Deal, which is causing a lot of this high inflation. It's just... I'm laughing. The devil's advocate at it again. All these great projects they brought back to Louisiana, and it's just great having friends in high places. And I'm telling y'all, we didn't lean on that for so long. That's what makes us. My buddy CB used to say, boy, can't wait for a hurricane to hit. We need a little economic development moving on. Well, we get that from people that continue to think that just keep going to the federal government, getting your money. What happens when they're out of money? And what's coming. I mean, it's not sustainable, and it's done on purpose, but foolishness continues. I've been wondering, so President Trump has got the nomination for the Republican Party, and Crazy Joe has got the nomination for the Democrats. And I'm looking at all the conditions out there where people, record credit card debt, food prices out the wazoo, everything so high it's not even funny anymore. Why would anybody? I mean, the border crisis. Most people that understand that should be scared to death of what's coming across that border. I read again today in Baton Rouge, another fentanyl death. I read again in Missouri, another young boy got killed by this illegal 15-year-old kid. You're watching what the policies of Biden and Obama and them are showing in the left. And so you see inflation. You see the spending of money we don't have. You see the border crisis. We see the crime surging to no end. Okay? We see nothing getting fixed, nothing getting done, driving America into the ground. And we want our economy back. We don't think it costs so much money. We're going to a renewable energy that's not sustainable, and it's a hell of a lie to convince people. How we killing the planet, all this stuff going on. I saw an article today, young people, unemployment rate going up for them. They're not too happy with Biden. And I see this over and over again, and I look at what Trump stands for, and I look what economy was doing and what people felt confident. We would fight China in a second. We would fight Russia in a second. They were scared to death of Donald Trump, and they're rightfully so. And I'm thinking, man, in normal times, Joe Biden, if he was really going to run, or whoever the Democrats ran against, man, it would be a blowout so bad the Democrat Party might go hide for 10 years. That's what ought to happen. And the American people stood up and took their country back. And the Democrat Party had given us men having babies. They want boys to compete in girls' sports. I go on and on. I go on and on. I could do this for 17 days and never stop having enough information. And I thought to myself, how in the heck can Joe Biden or any Democrat win? How can they beat Trump? And the lies about Trump are phenomenal for 9 years that people bought into. And I think there's no way he can lose. There's no way in somebody with a half a brain would vote for Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, or any Democrat. So I start thinking, well, how do they win the election? Today is, March 14th, 15th? What's the date? I don't even know. I haven't looked at the date. 14th? Yeah, I'm rolling. I don't even worry about dates anymore. Really, I don't. I guess when I got no, I just don't worry about them. I don't want them to go too fast. Started thinking, and you can say this is a conspiracy if you want to. What's going to happen between now and the election to help Democrats win? I'm thinking about in the Senate. Why would anybody want to support anything to do with Chuck Schumer, a guy who hadn't smiled since he'd been born? And the only reason he was smiling when he was young is because he had crap in his pants, he had gas, but he's never smiled since. Why would you vote for that? Why would you want Nancy Pelosi or Jeffries or these race baiters all running the country? And I keep thinking, there's no way. How can they win? There's no way they can win. But then I keep thinking, what are they going to do to cause a ruckus? Because they will not let Donald Trump win. World leaders, Soros, and all these nuts in China, no way they let Donald Trump win. What can they do? Well, I already told you, wiping him off the map is not out of the realm of these people. People that will let fentanyl come across the border and let people come across and rape and kill people and have sex, the child sex ring that's going on, and we allow them to look the other way and kill babies before they're born. Tell us that a man can become a boy and a boy can become a man. There's nothing different. And it's who you're dealing with. You're dealing with some spiritually dead people. What could happen? What could they do? And this is what I came up with. They don't have to do the COVID thing, which they could, I guess. But it's going to be a COVID-related thing, and the fact it's going to affect the way we vote. What benefits Biden and the Democrats and the left and the mean people in this country? It's mail-in voting. It's mail-in votes again. They need mail-in voting to win. They got to have mail-in voting to win. What can cause something for mail-in voting? Yes, COVID. I mean, we found out now 90% of that was made up. How about terrorist attacks? How about a little miniature terrorist attacks all over the place and people are scared to go in places where they got a lot of people? People are scared to go vote. Something to make people scared to want to go to the polls. So we can have mail-in ballots where Democrats will kick our rear end, because that's where people say the election wasn't cheated. That's where they win, mail-in ballots, because they change the rules and everything else. That's what happened to Trump. COVID happened, but the mail-in ballots is what changed our country and put us in a bad direction. We were heading in the right direction. We got away from the green new energy. When Biden and them got in, they made that the biggest priority. We're going to make this happen. We're going to force everybody to go to this. We go in this direction. We're going to spend trillions and trillions of dollars. We don't care if you broke. We don't care what it costs for a Happy Meal. We don't care if you can pay for your groceries. We don't care. We want the power. Because if we get the power, we get to control the people. And so I'm starting to wonder, will it be? They got all these people coming across. What is it, 10, 12, 13 million people we let in the last 3 years? And you know there's a bunch of thugs and no-account trash people in that group. I'm talking about horrible people. I mean, if you raped the 14-year-old in Kenner, Louisiana, you're a horrible person, and I don't care what happens to you. So I just started thinking, is it going to be terrorists? I mean, they're here now. There's going to be something that scares the American people into going to vote, scared to go in public, because there's no way Biden and Obama and Soros and China and all these people are going to let Trump be president. What's going to happen? What can knock Trump out? Besides them knocking him out, what can they do? And that's all they got to do is have mail-in ballots. We lose. The American citizens lose with mail-in ballots. We lose every time. Even people that have unions would not let their unions do mail-in ballots. They know this is a way to steal an election. Now, and then they say, well, everything was legal, everything was fine, because they changed the rules. And I got to think, what will cause our elections to scare people? Or we're going to have mail-in ballots. Everything's so calm. The presidential, they wanted Trump in there. But they don't want Trump to win. What's going to happen March 14th to the first Tuesday in November? What's going to happen? Well, we got to go to basically a mail-in ballot system, which they will win. We cannot beat the left when it comes to mail-in ballots. And we'll have court cases and court cases and court cases. They're going to throw every one of them out. Because they don't want to look like they're the ones that changed the election. They're sure not going to change it for Donald Trump. Trump's the only one got the guts in the country to change anything. So what do you think, folks? Terrorist Act? COVID 234? Combination? What can they do? Because everything is so smooth for Democrats. Trump kicked butt in the Republican Party. Now what? Because I'm telling you, the left does not care if they have to steal, kill, or destroy. I know that's biblical about Satan, but same thing. They don't care. What's going to happen? Somebody just wrote, and you can email me, moon@moongriffon.com, wrote, I think there'd be a power grid problem, maybe not nationwide, but significant enough to cause chaos. Oh, they don't have to have it nationwide, just in the states they need to win. We saw that in the last election. They didn't have to change the rules in every state. They just had to change the rules and the laws in the states that they need. I just don't think, and you can call, and I'm not a conspiracy guy at all, folks. I'm not. I've never been a conspiracy guy. Things don't happen things happen by design. You can't make me believe that one person and one human being in this country that's got any sense at all will vote for the Democrats. Have no sense at all. But yeah, I see never Republicans, never Trumpers, never Trumpers. Well, that's some intelligent, fine people like Mitt Romney. Yes, I'm sure a fine person. Power grid, something's coming. It's got to. There's no way they let Donald Trump be president. Donald Trump can get us out of this stupidity and this money we're spending on carbon capture. How stupid can you get? Solar panels and windmills. And they want to take away your gas stoves and take away your air conditioning. These people are serious. Boy, the voters, they just don't get it. Some of the voters don't get it, and they're not going to get it. But, man, people think voting by mail is awesome. I know the Democrats think it's awesome. I just think it's going to get to voting by mail. We don't win that election. Let me take a break. I'm not looking for conspiracies. I'm not. I'm just trying to think out the box here. We got to take a break. 844-766-6607. Porch pirates beware. Government's coming after you. I don't think it's nearly tough enough. And daylight saving times. Why don't we just leave the clocks alone? People, everybody's talking about, why don't they just leave the clocks alone? Why are they still doing it, by the way? We'll be right back. Hey, folks, my good friends at Stein saying, hey, come check us out. They are ready to serve you, folks. It doesn't matter. Appliances, building material, home improvements. Pick up your orders at curbside, place the order, and come pick it up. We're talking about Stein, one of those great, great, great Louisiana companies, folks. Assorted flowers and vegetables on sale. They've got outdoor power equipment sale going on right now. Outdoor living sale going on right now. You need to check it out, folks. Steinhome.com. Steinhome.com. You know it's crawfish season. You want to do your ball of crawfish. No, they don't have crawfish. They got everything to cook it. Everybody outside grilling. They got grills you're not going to believe. Grills and deals at Stein, always. Free assemblies on grills, $299 or more. It's just deals. Special financing available for 12 months. Appliances, flooring, they got it all. You need to go to Stein. You need to go today. Steinhome.com, Steinhome.com. Better brands, lower prices, guaranteed. The Louisiana company, Stein, you got to trust them. They're waiting on you. When you think about how you'll spend your money in retirement, what comes to mind? Probably travel, sunny beaches, and spoiling your grandchildren. But a recent survey found that over 30% of every dollar a retiree spends goes to taxes. Baby boomers were told for years to save money in their IRAs and 401ks and pay taxes later. Well, now that day has arrived, and boomers are shocked to see a third of their money going back to Uncle Sam. John Blanchard and the Matthew James Financial Group can help. What if you could protect all or most of your retirement wealth from future tax rate increases? Achieve a zero or near zero effective tax rate for most of your retirement years. Find out more. 337-366-8366. Isn't it time you got a second opinion on your wealth and retirement outlook? Learn how you could potentially kick the IRS out of your IRA. 337-366-8366 and online at MatthewJames.com.
Looking for a place?
Hello, welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. It is rock and roll time. It is Friday Eve on the Moon Griffon Show. Thanks for being part of the program. Before I move on from this, I just want to know what's going to happen. If you look at mail-in ballots in Louisiana and everybody had mail-in ballots like Louisiana, I'd feel a little better. I'd say it was perfect. But at least in the state of Louisiana, all mail-in ballots have to be at the registrar's office by 4:30 the day before the election. They're not in, they don't count. They're not in, they don't count. And unlike Pennsylvania, some of these other places, we're going to count ballots for 2 weeks later as long as they come in. You know, and then make up the rules as they go. Yours is not in by 4:30 the day before, okay? They're not in by 4:30 the day before the election. It doesn't count. Here's another thing. When our ballots come in at 4:30 the day before, you know it's the first ballots they count. When we sit down and 8 o'clock comes and they start 8:30, they start giving some of the numbers. You know, you start watching it on TV. Here, the first thing they count is all the mail-in ballots. First thing they do. So we're not saying, well, we got some more mail-in ballots to come in 2 weeks. You don't have none of that here. And I got to give us elections credit on their mail-in ballots because of what they've done. Somebody writes, Democrats never let Republicans win again. They learned a lesson from Hillary's loss. They didn't cheat enough. That's why she was so bitter they cheated and still lost. Therefore, the Democrat political machine put out all stops. Look, I'm just telling y'all, I want to know what's going to happen. But in our mail-in ballot system, 4:30 the day before an election. So if an election's on a Saturday or Tuesday or whenever it is, the day before at 4:30, it's over. It's done. They can't count them. When the election's over, they start counting the mail-in ballots first. They ain't no, well, we're waiting on 2 boxes of ballots. It's none of that. That's why I just wonder what they're going to do. You know, you count them first, you get all that over with, but that's not what they do in other states. You know, it's, I don't know. I just, like I said, I'm not big in a conspiracy. If it comes true, it's not a conspiracy. It happened. What has Bongino been saying for a long time? And it's come up with some new conspiracy because all the other ones have always come true. You know? Anyway, I'm sitting there going, let's see what happens. Something's going to happen. There's no way for something not to happen. Joe Biden elected president means Kamala Harris is going to run the country, which is Obama's girl. And I don't see, when I just mentioned just a few issues, just a very few issues, inflation, and that's all because of Green New Deal. Just the inflation in the economy and what people are going through to buy a vehicle as they cause everything to skyrocket. Folks, this ain't good. I'm talking to people that know a lot more than me about it. I'm just giving you the easy version of we can't keep doing this. Well, if you keep voting for the same people in the Senate and the House and the presidency, any of that's run by the Democrat, we have no chance. And if Trump comes back in, we now have to flush all of John McCain's because they ain't going to vote with him. Thank God Mitt Romney's leaving. Of course, McCain's passed away. Psycho Bill won't be there too much longer. Psycho Bill's last run is in 2026. And the word I get is some people that's going to run against him, he will be toast in a closed primary. Toast. I mean, done with. So I don't know what's going to happen. I just gave you a couple things that I think if we have an election, the mail-in ballot is what they want. The mail-in ballot is what they want, and that's the only way to beat Trump. And they know it. To beat Donald Trump, they're going to need a mail-in ballot. And also be careful one other thing. If we lose another couple of Republicans out to Congress, out the House, Mike Johnson will not be the speaker anymore. They'll get it to Jeffries. Schumer, Jeffries, and Biden one more time to see what they can do to the state and to the country. And that's not good for anybody. And that's who was sitting in that, was Schumer and Pelosi sitting in charge. Like I said it again, somebody says they voted Democrat, deep down I'm just falling out laughing going, wow, what an idiot. What a real idiot. I'm not going to tell them that. Free to vote for what they want to. They vote for the demise of their children, their grandchildren, and everything else. So what's going to happen? I don't know. When we get back, tougher penalties on the porch pirates, stealing stuff off. Fentanyl, another fentanyl death, Baton Rouge. Unbelievable. All right, we'll take a break. Be right back. Hey, folks, this is Moon Griffon. I built my dream home. Start imagining your dream home. And when you do, make sure you call my friends or get in touch with my friends at Schumacher Homes. SchumacherHomes.com, SchumacherHomes.com. When you tour Schumacher model home, you're in control. Stop by during operating hours and tour at your own pace. There's a reason my friends at Schumacher have been building homes for over 30 years. They're committed to making the home building process as enjoyable, simple, and hassle-free as possible. Call them or visit them, SchumacherHomes.com. SchumacherHomes.com to schedule your free, no-obligation design and pricing meeting. Hey, it's an hour or two of your time working on your dream home. And my friends over at Schumacher Homes just announced some exciting news. You can get a mortgage rate as low as 2.875% when you finance with Schumacher Homes. That is 2.875% when you finance with Schumacher Mortgage. Hey, the whole Schumacher team is dedicated to making sure your dream home becomes a reality. SchumacherHomes.com, SchumacherHomes.com. Folks, remember the name All Field Equipment, allfieldequipment.com. When I say All Field, that's ALL Field.com. All Field Equipment, founded in 2016 by my good friend, Mr. Bill Allen, with over 50 years' experience in the oil and gas industry. Hey, this is a great company to do business with. Whether it's production equipment, control valves, controller, glyco pumps, chemical pumps, chokes, Wilden pumps, Barton recorders, Allfield has new, rebuilt, and parts. Allfield handles some of the industry's top brands such as Norseal, Fisher, and Kimray. On the supply side, Allfield has anything from Q-tips to appliances to general Allfield supplies. Allfield is one of the largest suppliers of bottled water in the Gulf. And remember, Allfield never changes transportation. Like the name says, Allfield has it all, covering the Architects area and the Gulf of Mexico. Allfield Equipment, 337-837-1003, 337-837-1003. Hello, Acadiana.
Bikers Against Child Abuse, BACA, exists with the intent to create a safer environment for abused children. We exist as a body of bikers to empower children to not feel afraid of the world in which they live. We stand ready to lend support to our wounded friends by involving them with an established, united organization. We work in conjunction with local and state officials who are already in place to protect children. We desire to send a clear message to all involved with the abused child that this child is part of our organization and that we are prepared to lend our physical and emotional support to them by affiliation and our physical presence. We stand at the ready to shield these children from further abuse. We do not condone the use of violence or physical force in any manner. However, if circumstances arise such that we are the only obstacle preventing a child from further abuse, we stand ready to be that obstacle. If you'd like to know more about BACA, please visit our website at bacaworld.org or call 1-866-71-ABUSE.
This hour of the Moon Griffon Show is brought to you by 1% List Acadiana. Call Shannon LeBlanc today at 337-522-0682. Save on fees, not on service.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Matthew James, Tax Wealth Management Hotline. You're welcome. 844-766-6607. You can email me, moon@moongriffon.com. Somebody's saying they like to listen to the third hour. I get this all the time. It's really easy. Go to moongriffon.com, and there's a listen live button. And you should be able to listen to all 3 hours if you happen to be on the internet app and not by radio. We'd like for everybody to listen on our radio station. I know some can't, but it's just the way you can listen live. But we do go to noon every day. We are actually Lafayette Live 3 hours, and but so you can listen to it on the internet. We talked yesterday. The day before I had Stephen Porter, Climate Czar. That was really good. That was really great. Enjoyed talking to him about craziness, and unfortunately, there's a lot of craziness going on. Legislature proposed tougher penalties on porch pirates. Heads the Senate floor. Anybody had a package at their house that got stolen? This is what the bill is for. A bill heading the Senate floor toughened penalties against the porch pirates. Abbeville Senator Bob Hinskins, would give judges the authority to sentence a thief to 60 days in jail. They steal packages from several homes. In other words, you steal one package, you're okay. But if you steal from several homes, you can get up to 60 days. They said these people are going behind the Amazon trucks and follow to the neighborhood. Driver leaves and deliver, and they go behind and pick them up. And, personally, I think if they gave them 6 months, it would be a deterrent. They would say, no way, I'm going to jail for 6 months stealing a package. Got to remember, somebody goes on your porch to steal a package, folks, it's premeditated. They know damn good and well that's not their package. They know good and well they didn't want to pay for something, so they want to go get what you paid for. But we just like criminals, and I don't care what anybody says. If I'm going on your porch and stealing something, I'm a criminal. I'm a thug. And so talking about doing 60 days. Anyway, Sarah Whittington with the Justice and Accountability Center of Louisiana opposed the bill. She has already laws in the books addressing theft and special punishment, specific punishment for porch pirates will not help the situation. Because an individual that sees a package on my porch is not going to stop and say, wait a second, I might do 60 days in jail. Let me leave whatever's on the porch. It's on the porch. Folks, you say we want to be nice. You can't be nice to these people. They know dang good and well it's not right to steal something off the dang porch. Here comes Sarah Whittington, Justice and Accountability Center of Louisiana. It's got to be an ACLU deal, huh? We got laws on the books already. Well, we're not enforcing them. Do 6 months. I'll tell you what, if I go on somebody's porch and steal a package, I would have to do 6 months in jail and pay a $10,000 fine. They start hearing about their buddies in jail paying a $10,000 fine and got to stay in jail 6 months. They'll quit doing it. But I can't believe somebody's defending anything. The bill they're writing is fine. What I'm kind of laughing at is you got somebody out there that don't think we ought to do anything about it. A lot of people get this stuff on the porch now. They get it, they mail it, they get it sent in. I just don't understand being, we're too soft on the front end of this thing. Anybody that walks on somebody else's porch, let's be blunt here, you don't belong on their porch. You're stealing something. You went up there to steal something. I'll be honest with you, I cannot say anything was stolen off my porch yet. I don't know. I'd have to ask my wife because I don't order nothing. But my wife does, but I don't order nothing. And I don't remember her fussing about anybody stealing something. But I think we got to make it tough. If you're not going to do 6 months, how about 3 months? 60 days is about 2 months for you people in Balkanville. That's about 2 months. All right, make it a little bit tougher. Make it 3 or 4 months. Raise the fine up to $5,000 or $10,000. How are they going to pay that? That's their problem. They shouldn't have stole something on somebody's porch. Well, what if you got kids, Moon? Sometimes they kind of playing around. Tell them don't do that. Everybody, you realize because you don't know what the law, like this lady's saying, well, they're not going to know. If you don't know what the law is and you break it, they don't say, well, since you didn't know, we let you go. That doesn't happen. It's amazing. Somebody else writes, another scenario, as you know, Ken Buck, representative out of Colorado, left the House, and the number's only a couple of more votes, 2 or 3 more votes, and the Democrats have the Speaker of the House. Ken Buck leaving the House, and 2 or 3 more leave, then Hakeem Jeffries, woke on top of woke, becomes the Speaker, and Democrats will be in charge of certifying an election. I know there's all kind of theories out there, but it ought to concern us big time. Last thing, Americans are tired of their clocks being reset. Folks, I'll be honest with you. I just wish the time could get whatever the longest time is, would just stay like that. And we wouldn't adjust an hour anymore. Ain't nothing I hate worse than 5:15, 5:30 when it gets dark. At 6:30 to 7:30 is a better time. My question to y'all is, because I know the history of this thing and the fact that some people will tell you it helped the farmers, because when they start farming, the crops start coming in, it gives them a lot more time in the day to do what they have to do. Now, this is what I've always read and heard about. I may be totally wrong on it, but farmers, we still got farmers out there. And I don't know what a farmer feels like if that's the real reason we got daylight saving time. I just know every time it comes around, I hear everybody bickering about, man, why are we even doing this? Why don't they just leave the time where it is? And they don't. We always spring forward and fall backwards. Spring forward and fall backwards. That's how I remember. I learned that when I was young. Spring forward and fall backwards. And I don't know how and I've read stories that the time is psychologically hurting people. I've read stories where physically and emotionally people get upset about this and it's affecting their livelihood. Now, I got to tell y'all, whether we change it, leave it, or it stays the same, it does not affect nothing about my life at all. So you lose an hour of sleep the first day or two because it sprang forward. They always do it on a Saturday. We always go to church on Sunday. We go to the last service on Sunday. It doesn't affect how long we sleep. I don't understand, and unless some kind of psychologist is out there walking around. I think they even got a disease for this now or something. I don't know if you call it a disease, but they call it something. Okay? Somebody writes me there's 2 or 3 states in this country that don't participate in this. I knew there were some. I didn't know who they were. And by the way, since somebody told me this, somebody said we got a lot more critical things to worry about that concern Jeff Landry to deal with. But my deal is, why do we have psychological and psychiatrists needing to help people about this? This is not a big deal. But it becomes a big deal every time it changes. Now, when we fall backwards, you get an extra hour of sleep. People bicker about that too. It doesn't fit, mentally speaking, spiritually speaking, a clock change does nothing pro, con, against, or for me. So I don't have any idea why they won't just leave it alone. Let's roll. I don't care if they keep it like it is, but for people that are bickering about it, I wish they'd do it for them. And like I said, I like having 6:30, 7:30 daylight. Better than having 5:15 and 5:30, man. You feel like you woke up in the dark. Some people wake up when it's dark and go to bed come home when it's dark. Anyway, all right. Got to take a break. Your calls are welcome. 844-766-6607 is the number. If there are states that don't do this, we should probably be like some of those other states. That means the states can make that determination, right? All right, we'll take a break. Be right back. From their humbling beginning, Dino Hardwoods is striving to provide superior service and quality products for their customers. Hey, I know Charles Altman. He does a great job. If you're looking for lumber, Dino Hardwood stocks a large selection of domestic and import hardwood lumber and cypress. You ought to see their stuff. Exotic lumber, they got that as well. Trust in Dino Hardwoods when it comes to your exotic lumber needs right now. Molding, plywood, paint, and L products, they are ready for you. They got 3 great locations. Their corporate office is right here in Broussard, Louisiana. There's an office in Shreveport on 2801 Valley View Drive and one in Tyler, Texas, 12492 Highway 155 North. Hey, if you're looking for something different and something new and somebody who will service you, it's Dino Hardwoods. I'm telling you, don't forget Dino Hardwoods. DinoHardwoods.com, DinoHardwoods.com. Great locations. They can service you. They can deliver. DinoHardwoods.com. Check out this great Louisiana company. Folks, you hear me brag about an advertisement. South Star Urgent Care is the name you need to know. Listen, you look up, you're in the middle of the night, you're looking, God, where do we go? South Star Urgent Care. They open on weekends. They open at night. They can get you taken care of. If you're sick, if you're feeling bad, maybe you coughing, dehydrated, fever, flu, fracture, South Star Urgent Care wants to service you, and they're going to treat you like you want to be treated. They're going to get you in, get you out. You're not going to sit in a dark waiting room for a bunch of times. South Star Urgent Care. Go to SouthStarMoon.com, SouthStarMoon.com. You know you can register before you go and set your appointment. Hey, it's really cool. These folks at South Star greet you with a genuine smile and make you feel very comfortable. Folks, you're looking for the perfect urgent care? It's South Star Urgent Care. Go to SouthStarMoon.com, SouthStarMoon.com. South Star Urgent Care. It's the urgent care you need. Go to SouthStarMoon.com, SouthStarMoon.com.
Support local.
Hello, welcome back. Moon Griffon Show, Friday Eve. By the way, Joe Cunningham sitting in for me tomorrow, back on Monday. Brandon writes, states can elect to stay on standard time year-round, but not daylight saving time, federal law. Joey writes, all BS, nothing to do with anything. Only so much daylight in each month of the year. Time is a man-made construct. God's sky clock is going to turn regardless of what time man is assigned to. Somebody else wrote, still the same amount of daylight. I agree. Indian says, only a white man can cut off 1 foot from the bottom of the blanket, sew it on top, and believe the blanket is now longer. It is the same tail light. It is a different force. Well, you're right. Daylight gets dark a little later or gets light a little earlier. But I'm just telling y'all that this is a big topic with everybody every time it happens. So, but I just wish I wish they'd leave it alone? Yes. Whatever we need to stay on, let's stay and leave it there. We ain't got to talk about this crap anymore. I know this. These psychologists and psychiatrists out there are going nuts saying, yes, you got a problem. Because people will go tell them, I don't know. Every time the time changes, I just feel bad about it. I feel down about it. I don't. Why? Your life should change. When the time changes, a person's life should not change one bit, not one iota. Some people like having more time when they get home, having light at the house, and do stuff around the house. Anyway, unbelievable. Let's go. Let's see, Norman in Poseville. Norman, how you doing?
Well, Moon, I'm doing good. I'd like to talk a little bit about daylight savings time. I'm looking at it from, say, about 70 years or so of view. First of all, in my younger days, I was a field hand with one of my old uncles. He had a pocket watch in his pocket. But when we were in the field, when we were working, he'd look at the sun. The sun was at a certain point, boy, it's time to knock off. When it came with daylight savings time, old Norman wanted to go home, and he's, oh, no, it's still plenty of daylight. Let's keep working. Well, time passed. Eventually, I became the boss. Actually, right, working, especially when I was working by myself. I'd like to stay out even longer. But I don't have that problem anymore. My wife makes me knock off at 4 these days. And my other thing about it is, before I hang up, why don't we just split the difference and call it a day? They can change it about an hour. They can change it about a half hour. Everybody will be mad, but everybody will be equal.
Well, I still say there's 24 hours in a day, and the sunlight and daylight are all about the same. Yeah. It just starts light a little earlier and ends a little earlier, or it starts light a little later and ends a little later. Yep. It's no change. But my problem is when I hear people say, well, you know, I understand somebody saying, well, when you do spring forward, I lost an hour. But it's on a Sunday. You know, if you go to church at 8, go to church at 11. If you don't go to church at all, why do you care? But I've seen people, and I don't know the name of it, some kind of disorder when the time changes and it messes with people's minds. And I'll never understand that. How it's changing of the time, and you're not changing the time. Okay? I guess you are. You're moving it up or moving it back. But that's a one-day deal. It's 1 day. Everything after that stays the same.
Think about it. Think about it, Moon. God changes the light on an annual basis. The government changes it on an annual basis. Which one's easy to deal with?
I told you, for me.
And by the way, I deal with it. I don't care. I don't care. I'll just deal with it I'll take it like it comes.
I don't care either. But if I had to make a choice, I like having more light in the evening. But some people you talk to would rather have more light in the morning. So it's not a big deal, but it becomes a big deal. But I'm telling you, they got people get psyched out by a time change. I mean, what else could go wrong in your life if that's the worst thing you worry about is a dang time change? That's all I'm saying. I don't understand how that can affect somebody's life that much on a time change.
Well, I tell you what, Boone, when I wake up, this is my prayer. God, let me serve you today and don't let me mess up too much.
Yeah.
And I don't care when. I don't care what the hell the time's doing.
Yeah, I hear you. I get it. All right, got to run, Norman. Thanks for the call.
Okay,
appreciate
bye.
it. Yeah, it's. I just think it's. Somebody said, I guess there's nothing worth talking about when the problems are in daylight saving time's all we got. I get it. James in Monroe, welcome to the Moon Griffon Show.
Good morning. I'm not absolutely sure. I'm driving right now, so I can't Google it. But I think they do the daylight saving time because the times of the day and night are not exact all the time. So it'll like move up, and eventually like nighttime will be like 3 in the afternoon if they don't. It'll get dark sooner if they don't adjust it in that way.
But James, James, you don't have but 24 hours in a day, so nobody really cares about as far as the time goes. I mean, why should anybody? I mean, I'm laughing at myself talking about this. To be honest with you,
right.
I'm laughing at
But
myself.
I think that's what
I'm laughing at myself talking about this.
Right. But I think that's what the purpose is, though, is to try to keep the day and the night, the dark and the light around the same time of day. But again, like I said, I could be wrong.
Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate the call.
Have a good one.
All right, brother. Appreciate it. I'm laughing at myself talking about this. My producer's over there going, have you lost your mind? Well, this is only the third time this week I've lost my mind. By the way, fentanyl pills now a concern. Fentanyl is killing more people in Baton Rouge as dealers are lacing pills and other drugs coming across that border. Wide open across that border. Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Democrats. Missouri police accuse woman here illegally from Venezuela of killing a 12-year-old Travis Wolf. Cute little kid. Woman when Hazelwood, Missouri police describe it as here illegally from Venezuela, charged of killing a 12-year-old Travis Wolf in a crash that left him and his parents fighting for their lives. Wolf died March 6th. Shouldn't even be over here. I mean, no license, illegal, causing a crash. Wolf's dead. Parents Timothy and Stephanie Wolf seriously injured. Illegal. Joe Biden let over here. Now, once again, I'll say it again as I started the program. What are they going to do to win the election? Because if you look at issues, they're not right on any issues. And I don't care if you're black or white, Hispanic, and you belong in this country and you live in this country. Why would you vote for people who are allowing this to happen to our country and causing it to happen? I could say if that illegal wasn't driving, those people wouldn't be dead. I'm reading a story today about another lady who lost 3 children to drug overdose. 2 died because of fentanyl. Just 3 weeks apart. 3 children to drug overdose. I know it's a problem here. I know if you wasn't messing with drugs, that wouldn't kill you. I get it. But fentanyl A lot of people believe China's behind it, and a lot of people believe they have brought so much more over into the United States of America that's hurting and killing hundreds of thousands of people a year, and normally young people. So when you vote for Democrats, there's a good chance you got a kid or grandkid and they mess with any kind of drugs that they what Biden them and doing are going to kill them. And is that not a shame? Sinning a shame. Take a break. Be right back. Line One is a business telecom provider. Line One specializes in cloud-based communication with superior customer service. If you're frustrated with phone bills you can't understand, endless hold time to customer support, and phone system that is not meeting your needs, then you need to go to Line.1 and schedule a free consultation to advance your business phone system. Line One, technology with a human touch. Go to Line.1 and tell them Moon sent you. Again, that is Line.1.
LA 22.
News Talk, 96.5, KPEL, Breaux Bridge, Lafayette, a Town Square media station, broadcasting from the Matthew James Financial Studio.
Former President Trump is back in court in Florida. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. At a hearing in his attempt to get the classified documents case dismissed, the former president claims he was allowed to have them under the Presidential Records Act. Now to Atlanta, where Fox's Jonathan Sari reports a Trump ruling is expected today or tomorrow.
Several defense attorneys are calling on the judge to disqualify District Attorney Fani Willis from prosecuting the case, claiming that her romantic relationship with Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade created financial and professional conflicts of interest. Yesterday, Judge McAfee struck down 6 counts in the indictment against former President Trump and 5 of his associates relating to allegations they attempted to persuade Georgia officials to violate their oaths of office when the defendants attempted to overturn Mr. Trump's narrow defeat in the 2020 presidential election.
Now, ahead of the 2024 Trump-Biden rematch, a new Fox News poll gives the former president a lead in 2 states he lost, by 2 points in Pennsylvania. It's a 4-point Trump edge in Arizona. Today, the president goes to another battleground state.
He's going to be in Michigan, where he begins the process of trying to convince 100,000 Michiganders that voted uncommitted in the primary to commit to him in the general election. And then in Chicago, White House officials are reportedly set to meet today with a group of Muslim and Arab and Palestinian activists. They are trying to ease their concerns about a lack of a ceasefire in Gaza right now.
Fox's Peter Doocy at the White House. At the Senate, Democratic Majority Leader Chuck Schumer just said,
Palestinian civilians do not deserve to suffer for the sins of Hamas. And Israel has a moral obligation to do better.
Urging.
The United States has an obligation to do better.
Schumer's urging negotiators to work out a ceasefire in Gaza as Israel plans an offensive against Hamas militants in Rafah, where more than 1 million civilians are, after fleeing fighting in other areas. So Israel says it'll evacuate those Palestinians to what it calls humanitarian islands in Gaza. America's listening to Fox News.
Fraudulent tax returns due to identity theft increased by 30% in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Their U.S.-based restoration specialists are dedicated to helping solve identity theft issues, and all plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which means if you lose money because of identity theft, LifeLock will reimburse you up to the limits of your plan. Help protect your information with LifeLock. Go to LifeLock.com and save up to 25% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. Are you still on the fence about owning gold? It's time to pull the trigger with the Oxford Gold Group and buy gold and silver. Nobody can predict the future, but we can't put our head in the sand either. The Oxford Gold Group are the pros. They make owning gold and silver simple and easy to understand. Call Oxford Gold Group right now, and you may qualify for up to $10,000 in free precious metals. Call 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995.
Court-appointed
Need Special Advocates, or CASA, are specially trained volunteers that help secure safe homes for abused and neglected children. Don't let these innocent victims slip through the cracks of our complicated legal system. Get involved today. Call CASA at 268-5111. This nonprofit organization moment brought to you by News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
Get ready for something new and exciting with the Josh Guillory Show. Josh Guillory will bring a fresh perspective, analyzing news and issues coming out of Baton Rouge and Washington, D.C. Josh will break down how each and every story affects you right here in Acadiana. He's engaging, raw, and informative, but he also knows how to have fun with daily features that'll entertain and keep you coming back for more. The Josh Guillory Show, only on News Talk 96.5 KPEL, every weekday at 4 p.m., starting March 18th.
The views expressed in the following show are those of the hosts or hosts only. They do not represent News Talk 96.5 KPEL or Town Square Media.
Hey, hello, welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. It's great to have you with us today. It is an it's not really an open forum edition, but it is a Friday Eve edition. If you'd like to be part of the program, your opportunity, 844-766-6607. It's Matthew James Tax Wealth Management Hotline. Let me back up. I'm joined by my friend and attorney, Royal Alexander. Roy, how you doing?
Good, Moon. How you doing?
Man, I'm hanging in there despite me. How you like that?
Oh, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
All right, Royal. So there's a big push for school choice here. Jeff Landry, the Governor Landry, and a lot of elected officials believe. I talked to Dr. Brumley, Kate Brumley, I've had on here several times. They're looking at the savings accounts that the students move around to go at a better school, a better opportunity where the parents are in charge, which I think we've way past this now. But I know you've been looking at Texas and some of the stuff they've been doing. So give me your take on this, because I know we have to do something different here. This seems to be the perfect scenario.
It does, and especially with this governor. Well, we could have done a lot of this sooner, but Governor Edwards, of course, would never support it, but Governor Landry does support it. But you're right, Moon. I've been watching Texas, and I'll tell you something interesting. You know, sometimes the electorate really does respond to things, and 60% of primary vote. Well, first of all, Greg Abbott, the governor, has gotten very involved, and he's gotten several state representatives beaten over this very issue. He's traveled around Texas and helped candidates who supported school choice and gotten those who opposed him beaten. So, but Texas, and I think the numbers would be similar to us. 60% of primary voters say they would be less likely to vote for an incumbent who opposed school choice. And 88% of GOP primary voters in Texas, 88%, indicate that they support a parent's right to select schools, whether public or private, for their children, and the funding should follow the student. See, that's always the debate, Moon, how the money will be authorized and allocated. But it should follow the student. You don't really have school choice if the money doesn't follow the student. So it's being taken seriously there. And why did it come to that? Because in Houston County alone, 111 of its public schools get a D or an F. 111.
Yeah.
And so it's also not just trapping students in a place they won't get an education, which of course handicaps a child forever. I mean, you don't get to redo those years, so that you handicap a child. But it's not even just a poor education. It's parents need an escape hatch for their children to flee a dangerous school. Mm-hmm. Forget just a academically poor school, a dangerous school. Parents who can't afford it otherwise need the choice to leave. So that's what we're looking at. And you know what brought a lot of this into focus? It's like, Moon, there's always a silver lining. I know people would think, well, the pandemic really didn't have a silver lining, but it did, because by trying to teach students over the internet in their homes, parents for the first time ever realized what their children are being taught at school. So the pandemic, it opened up a bunch of disagreements. I mean, you remember, of course, the Biden administration deemed parents domestic terrorists when they tried to go and protest at school board meetings. But the pandemic really opened up the masking debate and woke ideology. Parents realized, this is what they're teaching my child in school?
Yep.
No, I'm sorry. But we wouldn't have known it but for the parents getting involved in the way when children were learning online. So long and short, it's a school choice. We've thought it was a good thing for many, many years in the state. We haven't done it on the level I think we should, and I think we're moving toward that right now.
You know, it's amazing, though, Roy Alexander, who's an attorney. I got a few law questions with you as well. But it's amazing, though, because all this in Arizona, it only affected 3% of the students. 97% of people stay right where they are. We're going to have a little bit more affecting a little bit more than us here, because we've done a poor job and educating our kids in some areas of the state. I'm not going to say all the areas, but in some areres.
I agree.
And
I
so,
agree.
because there are a lot of people that are very smart that leave our schools, they're very smart. They're smart. They're leaving the state for better quality of life. They're real smart. But it's not going to be a bigger percentage. And I like what Dr. Brumley said. You know, this is not any local tax dollars going to the school boards, which they will still can get every penny. Every penny. This is the state money. It's only $7,500 of state money. Most of the rest of the schools get their money locally. So it really, and by the way, we can't put everybody in. Everybody's not going to homeschool. Everybody can't. We don't have enough people to put everybody in a private school. So this doesn't affect everybody. But what it will do is help the person that feels like my kid has no opportunities here. I want to do something. That's the person we're trying to help.
It absolutely is, and I'm glad Dr. Brumley made those points. It will. And again, this is nothing but the National Teachers Union, which is really the National Democrat Party's kind of, well, not kind of, has been its traditional supporter for 100 years, who want to maintain control. Never mind, and again, I'm drawing exceptions. I don't in any way intend this to be addressed to teachers who I think try their very best, the large majority of them. I'm talking about administrators, and I'm talking about bureaucracy. But that's exactly true. In our state, there will be some more movement than maybe in other states. But the point is, none of that matters about where the money goes, Moon, if it has to follow the student. If the part of it that's state-derived has to follow the student, we're going to be in much better shape. And again, teacher, it's not just wanting a quality education. Again, the pandemic taught us, well, this is what my kids are being taught, woke ideology. They're being taught that, I want my values and culture to be passed on to my children. At least I don't want it undermined in public schools. But, public schools teach, well, everyone's either an oppressor or they're oppressed. We know that gender is somehow now a spectrum. Mm-hmm. It's the gender spectrum unrelated to biological sex. That's insane. But all of that is parents either want to flee a school because it's academically poor or because they don't even feel safe. Yep. They don't feel safe. And,
You there?
Moon, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. I was listening to you. You said they don't feel safe.
Yeah.
You stop.
They don't. So they flee. And it's not just poor academics. It could be purely the safety of the school. But as Dr. Brumley said, this probably won't be a wholesale change, but it will certainly be a change for certain families that desperately need it.
Okay, you're an attorney, and this is why I'm asking you to deal with Constitution and things of that nation. What is going to be the beef when the lawsuits start that you can't do this? What are they going to say? The local governments lose no tax dollars, so they can't sue upon that. What is going to be the beef? What are they going to fight for? All we're trying to do is help kids get out of a bad situation. We're letting parents make the determination. That's it. It's nothing to do with anything else. So what is going to be their beef?
I think they'll try to wrap it in somehow that children have a fundamental right to an education, but we both know they're not being educated today. But even so, other states are already doing this. I think it stands up. I don't see anything that is violative of the Constitution in this, Moon. It's from the ground up. Again, it's the framers of our Constitution who believe that there's a compelling interest. That's the highest interest in the law a compelling interest parents have in the education, welfare, spiritual formation, health of their children. Well, that compelling interest, I think, is going to trump anything the teachers' unions might try to do to say, oh, you can't do this because you're depleting other students from. No, we'll give those other students a choice, too. I don't see how this gets defeated, Moon. I don't.
No, it sounds like to me, and I think you agree with this is more of a state's issues, a state's right. I mean, you don't see the federal government coming back in here trying to change things, do you? The federal government through the courts, huh?
It would. I can see the Biden administration trying, because the Biden administration is trying to do a lot of terrible things in public schools and public education, including colleges. But I don't think you're right. That's one of the police powers. The state police power is safety, education, health, welfare of its residents. That includes children. And again, the compelling interest of the parent to determine what is best for their children in every area, including education. I think it's going to trump.
When you looked at Texas, is it working for them? Did they just pass this?
No. In fact, that's why Governor Abbott is going around the state stumping to defeat people who voted against it. It hadn't passed yet, but I think it's going to, because he sees it. But you got to love it when your governor, especially in a state that big, gets out of his building and rolls around the state defeating people who opposed him on school choice.
You know, it's amazing,
I think that's
too.
How it's supposed to be.
They got independent school districts, and school choice. I mean, they are really, really separating themselves from the state and the federal government.
They are, and anything that's getting in his way, that's how politics works. If we don't think you represent the will of the people in opposing school choice, so we're going to see that you get defeated.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Hey, Royal, I do appreciate it. The article's in the Hayride if people want to read it by Roy Alexander dealing with school choice. It is a great move for Louisiana. Governor Landry said we're going to get it done. I'm hoping, I know it's going to be a battle, but I'm hoping the state of Louisiana will wake up and we do something different, and this is something really different. Royal, thank you so much, man. I'll let you go. I know you're busy, and I appreciate your time.
Okay, Moon, thank you.
All right, we'll take a break. More to come. Tim Metcalf's going to stop at the house a day early. I don't know why, but he's going to be here a day early. And so we visit with Tim, check what's happening in the business world. We'll be right back. Line One is a business telecom provider. Line One specializes in cloud-based communication with superior customer service. If you're frustrated with phone bills you can't understand, endless hold time to customer support, and phone system that is not meeting your needs, then you need to go to Line.One and schedule a free consultation to advance your business phone system. Line One, technology with a human touch. Go to Line.One and tell them Moon sent you. Again, that is Line.One. Oh, Shucks, you've been hearing me brag about Shucks. Been going there for many, many years. Shucks does a great job. If you like seafood, you got to go to Shucks in Abbeville. I'm telling you right now, there's shrimp, there's oysters, there's fish, all fresh every day right off the boat. So if you want something fresh and you want fresh seafood, you got to go to Shucks. Don't forget, if you're having a party, call Shucks. Let them cater the event for you. Or you can go pick it up. Shucks, they're waiting on you. If you want a great time and you want great food, you got to go to Shucks in Abbeville. Shucks, oh, they're good. Folks, I want to tell you about one of my new advertisers, Adapt Concepts AC Service Repairs. Oh, serving all of Acadiana, surrounding areas, and the Gulf of Mexico for over 6 years. Full-service AC and heating company, repairs, installation, and preventive maintenance, which is very, very important. Installation service, professional quality services, focus on creating value for you. Terms of certified technician, 24/7 customer service, and free consultation. I'm talking Adapt Concepts, AC Service Repairs. You want the professionals, you want the best, this is them. Purchase a qualified high-efficient system for maintenance, plus get a free 12-year parts and labor warranty. Wow, don't you want to know about that? Call them at 337-408-8202. That's 337-408-8202. Or go to the website, adapt-ac.com. That's adapt-ac.com. back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you back with us. Tim Metcalf's in the house. Looked like to me he's coming from from Prejean's.
Prejean's. Yes,
anyway,
sir.
Dino's Pizza, Prejean. It doesn't matter. Tim said, come on out. He's going to take care of you.
It's all good.
I know it is good. You got to now. Look, today is an unusual day because I'm looking at three things I've never really seen or eaten before.
Right. We mixed it up on you a little bit. So I brought the Couillon burger. It's a burger. We take smoked boudin, peppers and onions, and kind of grill it down and top it on a burger patty with the cheese, and then our homemade bun.
That's a bad dude, right?
It's a bad dude. It's a bad dude. So
now is this a daily special?
That's on the menu.
Is on the menu.
Burgers on the menu. Oh yeah, at both properties. Then I brought the crab meat pontchartrain, which is a flatbread. It's a flatbread. Spinach and artichoke.
Oh, so you know how to make flatbread?
Spinach, artichoke. Well, you know, kind of my forte, as you know.
Yeah. Well, I noticed when you bought Prejean's and you made some changes, some good changes. They had kept some good stuff, but made a lot of good changes.
Right.
And one of the things you did because you Dino's Pizza for you know how to make pizza.
I know how to make
as
pizza.
Anyone. You did a flatbread over
Flatbread's kind of a misshaped pizza, so
yeah. I know, but what I'm saying is that's what made it easy.
That's right.
For
That's my core. That's where my roots are. My roots are. So it's really good. It's nothing like we have at Dino's. It's completely different, but just every bit as good. And then I brought the pasta Inez. Now that's a Lent special. So it's a Inez sauce we make in house on a penne pasta with fried crawfish tails on it.
And when you put fried crawfish tails on something, wow!
I'm telling you.
All right.
I'm telling you.
All right. And let's say this at the beginning. Dino's Pizza, 3 great locations.
Mm-hmm.
Bertrand, College Saloon.
Henderson.
And, of course, Henderson.
Right.
Okay. But in Prejean's, everybody knows about I-49, been there forever. But now you have one in Broussard,
Broussard on
which has
Morgan,
been really
Morgan
good.
Street.
We've been to that one more the last few times.
Yeah. You can kind of, it's a little...
Well, we've been because that's the people we were going with lived out there.
Okay. All right. It's easier to get into sometimes.
For me, we come into the other one because I'm only 10
You're
minutes
right. Yeah, you're right across the street.
You one of the things I want people to know, Tim, that and this has nothing to do with your food.
Right.
You cater. You got big groups. You're involved in the fight game too. You got to tell us a little bit because Walker's over there with his eyes and doors open because you're a good friend, and I mean you're a really good friend.
A really good friend, Dustin Poirier, one of my best friends on earth, was in a big fight this weekend in Miami, Florida. We were fortunate enough to be ringside, and he knocked Denis St. Benoit out in the second round.
He was not favored to win.
He was not favored. And at
when
one point,
he
was a plus 190 at one point.
Well, when I read he was getting beat too up to that point. Is that not? Tell me about that. That's by the way, that's what I read. I didn't say I saw.
Yeah. So he lost the first round. But he was there's a choke called a guillotine. It's not very effective at this level, and Dustin just kept. The guy didn't actually take Dustin down. Dustin would jump the guillotine. The guy would slip out. Dustin would fall down, and the guy would spend more time on top of him, which the judges look, and they were right that he would have lost the round. But in between the first and second round, he kind of gave me a wink, so I knew that it wasn't.
He feeling pretty good.
He felt good. He's got a gas tank. His skills are amazing. Now, this guy, Benoit, he's been tearing through everybody. He's strong. He's ex-military. He's younger. He's everything you want to be. Tough, brave. Just not as skilled. Dustin's got tricks. And he's also got the best right hook in the business. And unfortunately for Benoit, he tasted that right hook and it knocked him out. So I did
better him than you.
I did an interview with Gerald Goering. Gerald has the video. I'm trying to get the video. Wednesday before we left for Miami. And I wore the shirt from the fight on Fight Island where Dustin knocked out Conor McGregor in the second round.
Yeah.
And he knocked out Conor McGregor 2 minutes, 32 seconds in the second round. And Gerald goes, "Why are you wearing that shirt?" I said, "Because it's the same fight." He goes, "No, he's not fighting Conor. He's fighting this French guy." I'm like, "Gerald, the ending's going to be the same. Second round knockout." Not only was the second round knockout, 2 minutes, 32 seconds into the fight. Same time.
Wow.
Exactly.
I know y'all were pumped. I just thought I'd give a little Dustin. He's a homegrown guy. Great kid. He's a kid to me.
He's a kid.
Well, he's a kid, but if you tell me you don't want me to call him a kid, I ain't going to call him a kid.
No. You might want to do it. He's all man when it comes to that.
I better have a gun and 2 knives. But
you won't.
I just wanted people to know that you supported Dustin, who became a good friend of yours when nobody supported him.
Right.
And so, still walking hand in hand. But
That's right.
that was a great fight. And I know my son Walker and them, they ganged up to watch all that stuff. And
It was good.
and all I did was most of the reading in the tapes behind. And stuff I've seen that y'all put on the website, but I did want to mention it because we had him in here before. He's actually come with you a couple once or twice.
We may get him back
Got
in.
to meet him.
We may
And
get him back in.
I started to push him out the door, but I did.
It wouldn't have worked out well.
He might have said, good, I'm not coming back, but don't come to my place. No, but I want to mention it because y'all had a big time in Miami.
We had a fantastic time. Miami was a very welcoming city. It's what New Orleans could be if they would just get their act together.
Oh, New Orleans should be ahead of all of them. They have
should
so
be.
much more to offer.
They
now.
do.
We
We
behind
do.
everybody.
Culture and yeah. It should be.
It shouldn't even be. It shouldn't even be close.
Maybe. I mean, Jeff Senator. Let's see. Let's see what happens next
Well,
week.
I know Jeff's working on it. I talked to the Attorney General. She's working on it. They're working on the crime problem down
Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser wants it. You know,
if you can
lost some
do
conventions.
something with the crime down there, you can bring something
bring some
back.
people.
But you got to start doing it now.
Clean up the infrastructure, knock down the crime. That's all you need. That's all you need.
Yeah,
New Orleans has everything. It has everything else.
The people would do the rest.
Of course, the people, the food, the culture, the vibe. It's all there. New Orleans has it all. They just have that big black eye.
Yeah, no doubt about it. His name is Tim Metcalf, dinospizza.com, PraiseJones.com. Specials Monday through Friday every day. They open 7 days a week. They can service you. Y'all still handling big groups and parties and catering and all this stuff.
Doing it all. Doing it all.
Man,
Give me a call.
I tell you, this is really good. I just tasted 3 things I've never ate in my life.
Right? You did more than tasted. More than tasted.
Boy, I tell you, you know what would have been good with this? Big old glass of unsweet tea.
Oh, we won't forget that.
The reason why I'm saying that, Walk, I texted him and said, hey, why you coming? Maybe we'll bring me a sweet tea. And unsweet tea. Look, I'm still looking. It's not over.
I left it on the counter. I left it. It's waiting for you at Praise Jones.
I can't even find a cup. How about that?
How about this? You're gonna pass by Praise Jones on your way. Just pick it up. It's waiting for you.
I'm gonna have to put some more ice in it. That's for dang sure.
Absolutely.
Tim Metcalf, dinospizza.com, PraiseJones.com. Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Moon.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. It's termite season. Did you know termites are responsible for over $1 billion worth of damage in Louisiana alone? For over 60 years, J&J Exterminating has been shielding homes and businesses. 100% guaranteed against termites, pests, and mosquitoes. Louisiana-owned, customer-focused. J&J Exterminating.
Call him today, make the pests go away. J&J Exterminating.
Get the shield.
Yeah. Spring is here, and if you love seafood like I do, you need Ragin' Cajun, the original Cajun seasoning, and Ragin' Cajun's delicious seafood dinners like etouffee, Creole sauce, shrimp and grits, seafood bisque, gumbo and roux. All Ragin' Cajun products are made right here in Acadiana. Folks, trust me, they are good. Ask for the Ragin' Cajun and all your favorite grocery stores today. Ragin' Cajun, the original Cajun seasoning. Ask them for the Ragin' Cajun. Oh, man, I love me some Superior Grill. Superior Grill, the best Mexican food in the state of Louisiana, bar none, baby. They are the best, and you're going to love them, too. They got great drinks and food, and the atmosphere is second to none. They know what they're doing. They know how to serve. Hey, folks, you do know they cater. They do cater. Superior Grill, located in New Orleans, Shreveport, and Baton Rouge, Lafayette right around the corner. You're going to love Superior Grill. You're going to love the atmosphere. You're going to love the taste. They can handle anything you got. Folks, they got happy hours. They really serve the people. And you're going to love Superior Grill. I love it. You're going to love it. I cannot wait to go to Superior Grill. I've been going to Superior Grill now for 29 years. Let me tell you, I know all about Superior Grill. And I want good Mexican food. I'm going to Superior Grill. I want to see you there. We're going to have a blast.
Hi, this is
This hour brought to you by Matthew James Tax and Wealth Management. Online at MatthewJames.com.
Hello, welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. That was a lot of fun. Tim Metcalf, little Poirier, he had a little fun bit of fight, but Tim's good friends. They had all that. They were gone, so kind of eased into that a little bit. Anyway, great to have you back. 844-766-6607. Matthew James Tax and Wealth Management Hotline. Hey, folks, you hear me brag about South Star Urgent Care. South Star Urgent Care, Louisiana's homegrown urgent care. It's right there. All started in a lot of other states now. We need medical help. Can't wait for an appointment with your doctor. Urgent Care is a great option for you. And get you in and get you out. They're going to treat you like you want to be treated. Folks, their goal is to get you in and get you out as quick as they can, but to take care of you. They're going to treat you like family. That's all you need to know. Go to SouthStarMoon.com. SouthStarMoon.com, folks. Some of the places you can check in online. Allergies, asthma, cough, congestion, fever, flu, fractures, laceration. They do a little bit of everything. And their goal is to get you taken care of as soon as they can to get you back on your way. That's South Star Urgent Care's goal. Take care of their patients like they were their own family. And that's how they will treat you. It's simple. It's easy. Go to SouthStarMoon.com. SouthStarMoon.com. Next time you're sick or hurt, you can check in online. South Star Urgent Care. Wow. I've been using them for a while. You should use them next time you got to go in. There's probably one near you in the listening area for you to use. I didn't even realize, Walker, they had we got one where we live. When we went, y'all went, you, your mom, or whoever went last couple of times. It may have been Maddie. It was so easy because it was right down the road from the house. Didn't even think about it until I got online. I knew we had a lot of them in the area. It was kind of cool. All right. I can always tell when it's an election year for president of the United States. You notice it starts about right now and everything's race. And they do it locally and they do it statewide. Let me give you just a quick example. Will Sutton. Will Sutton writes for the Devil's Advocate, piece of trash newspaper that it is. And so Will Sutton does a story, Louisiana presidential primaries underway as Trump offends Black America. And it was nothing. It's a nothing burger. They take anything a Republican says and make it race. Donald Trump once again insulted black people. He had insulted black people. The people that are insulting black people, that are apologize to black people, are Democrats. It's the Joe Biden's, Barack Obama's that use blacks every single day, every time there's an election. Use them and use them and use them. That's who ought to apologize. That's who's insulting. It's insulting to go to the inner cities. Insulting to go to the inner cities and see what the Democrats have done to the blacks. And it's black leaders. It ain't Trump, but they worried about Trump saying something. Trump made the point about having his own tennis shoe. Let me find this because this is almost hilarious, really. A lot of people said that's why black people like me, because they've been heard so badly and discriminated against, and they actually viewed me as I'm being discriminated against. And he is. Trump, there's nobody been more discriminated more than Donald Trump. Been pretty amazing, but possibly maybe there's something there. And then it started because they are upset. Black Conservative Federation recently gave Trump his Champion of Black American Award. Man, they get so upset. I saw the other day Charles Barkley said he run into a black guy voting for Donald Trump, he's going to punch him in the face. I mean, they basically have taken blacks and used them and used them and used them and used them, and they want to keep them right where they got them. That's the people that blacks are voting for every day. Democrats, what they're doing. Trump wants blacks to be the best they can be. It's amazing. He it's something with a tennis shoe too. He had a tennis shoe they came out with Trump, and Trump may have mentioned the fact, but blacks like tennis shoes. Well, white people like tennis shoes too, but there's a culture with the tennis shoe with blacks. So what? Good for them. I have no problem with that. But Will Sutton's a racist. Will Sutton's the example of racism. He can't quit writing about race. And we in an election year, so what does he do? He write about race. Trump announced at a Philadelphia sneaker convention that the Trump-branded gold Never Surrender high-top sneaker with an American flag was selling for $399 a pair. Though 45 didn't comment about the intended audience, Trump supporters took the announcement and ran with it. This is connecting with the black America because they love sneakers. That has nothing to do with Donald Trump. Somebody from Fox News contributor said that. Trump never said anything like that. Trump was talking about his new sneaker, $399 a pair. Okay, gold, never surrender, high top sneaker. Somebody else on Fox News said something about sneakers and blacks. He never did, but what does Will Sutton do? Writing for the Devil's Advocate. He loves to run race cars. By the way, Will, Trump's going to win 60% in Louisiana when the election comes. Will, 60%. Get over it. Nothing to do with racism. Then I'll pick up Raphael Warnock on MSNBC. Okay. Georgia, last election that Trump ran, had the record turnout, the biggest turnout across the board, especially in the black population. Georgia went from Joe Biden, at least that's what they told us. So Warnock benefited. He ran again and won again. This is a black United States senator. He's a pastor. He's anti-Christ, but he's a pastor. Because if you hear him preach, trust me, he's the guy that said, oh, Jesus says it's okay to have an abortion. He's a nut. But Georgia put him in there anyway. So what does he say? Now remember, record turnout. Record turnout the first time he won. Had a big turnout the second time he won. The blacks came out and voted bigger than they've ever voted in the last two elections. What does Warnock say? You ready? Just because Georgia had record turnout doesn't mean there isn't voter suppression. You know, folks, if you could prove that we had this many people turning out consistently, and the Republicans and Trump and them did something to make the voter go away on the black side, and you could prove it, I get that. But the man is a nut. He just says stuff as he goes. Record turnout, what got suppressed? What got suppressed? If you got record black turnout, what got suppressed? Seems like to me, and I'm going to tell you something, it really works the other way. There are people that go vote that don't want to go vote because they get pressured so much. They do, especially in some of the Democrat Party strongholds. There's no suppression of voting. There's a threat if they don't go vote, but there's no suppression of voting. How can you have record turnout and be a... But here's what happens. I always look at it. Every time we have presidential election, they go to the playbook. The playbook has one big word written on every page: race, 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 race. Because the Democrat Party is the enemy of the blacks. The Democrat Party is. They've been the enemy. They are still the enemy. But you can't tell people that because they don't want to listen, because they'll say, well, that guy on the radio, he's a racist. Nothing to do with that. I'm watching what they promising, and I'm watching what they're delivering, and it's totally opposite to poor people and black people and older people. The Democrat Party will never deliver for you, but they will put you in a bond. They will make you worship them. They will make you dependent on them. They will do that because that's proven. So anyway, Will Sutton is knowing he's just a glamour guy that happens to be stuck in Louisiana writing for the Devil's Advocate, John George, and the crazy newspaper. And then there's Warnock with record turnout in Georgia with blacks talking about voter suppression with blacks in Georgia. And he can't prove it, but he don't have to prove it. All he's got to do is say it. And the media and the people that vote for Democrats will buy it. Why didn't your life get better after 8 years of Barack Obama? He didn't do anything to help you. And the health care is a disaster getting ready to get worse. All right, let's take a break. 844-766-6607. Matthew James, Tax Wealth Management Hotline. Take a break. Be right back. Spring is here, and if you love seafood like I do, you need Ragin' Cajun, the original Cajun seasoning, and Ragin' Cajun's delicious seafood dinners like etouffee, Creole sauce, shrimp and grits, seafood bisque, gumbo and roux. All Ragin' Cajun products are made right here in Acadiana. Folks, trust me, they are good. Ask for the Ragin' Cajun and all your favorite grocery stores today. Ragin' Cajun, the original Cajun seasoning. Ask them for the Ragin' Cajun.
As Louisiana's only fiberglass manufacturer and fabricator, C-Safe Fiberglass Grading and Structural Systems has provided corrosion-resistant products to the Gulf Coast for over 45 years. Our fiberglass grading, cable trays, and structural shapes are ideal to replace corroded, rotting building products and can be custom fabricated by the best fiberglass craftsmen in the world, right here in Lafayette. Contact C-Safe or visit our website at csafe.com. That's S-E-A like the ocean, S-A-F-E.com.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. It's termite season. Did you know termites are responsible for over $1 billion worth of damage in Louisiana alone? For over 60 years, J&J Exterminating has been shielding homes and businesses. 100% guaranteed against termites, pests, and mosquitoes. Louisiana-owned, customer-focused. J&J Exterminating.
Call him today, make the pests go away. J&J Exterminating.
Get the shield.
Yeah.
We're visiting with
Hey, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show, last segment of the second hour. 844-766-6607 is the number. If you'd like to be part of the program, it's your opportunity to be a voice. Matthew James Tax Wealth Management Hotline. So I was, as you know, folks, I'm not a big believer that the federal government can take care of the state of Louisiana. And although it has for a while, that comes crashing down, it's not going to be good. Recently, they passed a $480, let's just say $500 billion funding package to keep the government open. I thought it was just to keep the government open. And then you find out, no, it's not that. It's the way you buy votes to get the votes is that you make sure every state has projects taken care of. So I don't really know how the $480 billion or $500 billion really goes to make the government operate, because everybody got new projects. These are new projects. These are not projects that were being built. And I thought, when people say, well, we need money for government, I thought they really need it for government. Well, how can our representatives, United States senators, and the media get all excited when we got projects? I'm just trying to be realistic with this. I'm looking at a federal government that's broke beyond repair. Broke beyond repair. And yet they can keep coming up with money off a credit card. Somebody's still saying, here's a credit card. Be like if you went to a bank and you just couldn't go nowhere and you use your credit cards and you're in debt and you can't get out, you don't know how to pay your bills, but you find that one sucker that says, yeah, I'll give you another one. It's like we keep finding the suckers to give us another one. So I get concerned about it, but I seem to be the only one that really gives a dang. And I seem like to be the odd man out because I actually care about the country and you and me and our kids. And I care about the working class people. And politicians don't, because the media is on their side most of the time. And I'll give you an example. Editorial in the Devil's Advocate. State Hall of Federal Dollars goes to worthy projects. Well, once again, it's a worthy project if you're getting it. But I thought this money was to keep the government from shutting down. The money's coming back in new projects. If you wouldn't have financed them projects, how would that have affected the government for shutting down? $500 billion to go start new projects, how does that keep the government from shutting down? And it doesn't. And the Republicans and the Democrats all play the same game. And I don't care whose name is on them. Although I was happy to see Clay Higgins yesterday. Clay Higgins yesterday said if the government shut down, it was fine with him. And I said, wow, somebody that really means it. I'm just saying he said it because he voted against the stupidity budget. The money was not used to keep government going. The money was being used for new projects. So here's the devil's that having friends in high places surely benefited Louisiana in its latest round of federal budget wrangling. Well, I thought it was to keep the government running. Oh, no. And of course, Devil's Advocate, the dumbest newspaper in the country. And God, got some more money. Golly, that's great. The Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2024, the Consolidated Appropriations, appropriating money, passed Friday and signed by this thing we call a president, including $10 million for projects throughout Louisiana. What that's got to do with keeping the government open. Approved a $500 billion package spending bill with no time to spare to avert a government shutdown. So let's see. To avert a government shutdown, let me fast forward. Oh, here it is. To avert a government shutdown, we had to spend $7 million on the Barksdale Air Force Base to build an addition to the 307 Bomb Wing Medical Facility. The government was going to shut down if we didn't build that. That was Mike Johnston. U.S. Representative Garrett Graves got $3 million for East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office Task Force on Fentanyl and Violent Crime. The government was going to shut down if we didn't spend $3 million in Baton Rouge. The government was going to shut down. John Kennedy Appropriations Committee member inserted $3 million for upgrades to the New Orleans National World War II Museum. The government was going to shut down if we didn't redo something with the museum. Kennedy also got $36.5 million to maintain the J. Bennett Johnston Waterway in Shreveport-Bossier to maintain the 200-plus mile artery and prevent a dam safety emergency. The government's going to shut down if we didn't do this. And Julia Letlow, who has a seat on appropriation, was able to secure $9 million for a runway extension at the airport in Alexandria, who God knows everybody goes through the airport in Alexandria. It would have shut down the airport if we would have. See what I mean? Look at what the projects are for. It's nothing to do with government shutdown. That is a lie. But boy, we got money coming. Woo, federal money. Woo. Wait till the federal money runs dry. Folks, it's going to be sad. We're going to all be sick. But I've been talking about this for 20 years. How does these projects have anything to do with the government might shut down? Nobody's brought this up but me. Nobody on national TV, national radio, nobody. We agree that taxpayer dollars should be used prudently, but believe that caution should be balanced with meeting legitimate regional needs. Oh, the World War II Museum, which is a nice museum. Man, that's a regional need. We had to have that, or the government's going to shut down. That's the devil's advocate. Just a sampling of the state's haul. We know Johnson faced criticism relying on Democrat votes to get the package passed, but we applaud his willingness to step away from gridlock and do what the Democrats want. We recognize that many remain skeptical that our federal government can do anything right, but we choose to have more faith. The media chooses to have faith in government. By the way, do y'all like what they're doing at the borders? Do you like the fentanyl deaths? Do you like the rapes of a 14-year-old Kenner kid, since you love what the federal government's doing? Devil's advocate. Ignorance. So much ignorance there it can't be counted. After the spending package passed, Kennedy said it turns Louisiana priorities into realities. Our jobs and communities and our freedom are a focus of this bill. What freedoms were saved by the bill that is building a museum or building some more buildings? Tell me, because I don't understand that. You might can explain it to me, but you can't learn it for me. Hard to disagree with the sentiment when looking at the list of worthy projects that got funding. And it bodes well for the future if our lawmakers in D.C., instead of focus on meaningless squabbles, continue to use their clout to deliver what our state truly needs. Is that amazing? What does our state truly need? Federal money. We're so hooked on the cocaine of federal money, and our leaders are too. Ain't nobody I like more than Kennedy and Mike Johnson. This is wrong. The devil's advocate is just playing right into it, baby. I don't know what billing. I thought we had a need. I thought the government was going to shut down. So the government was going to shut down if Louisiana didn't get an opportunity to spend money on projects? If we couldn't spend $100 million on projects, the government was going to shut down? Somebody explain it to me. I promise you, if you can call and explain this to me and get me where I can understand it, I'll give up the program. Please call me and explain this to me. How spending of all this money, $3 million, East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office, Task Force on Fentanyl and Violent Crime. I know it's a problem, but what does that have to do with the government shutting down? They're spending money. It's not like we saving money so the government don't shut down. We spending money so the government don't shut down. That's like being in debt. You're hocked up to your rear end. You can't even pay your bills. And the answer, well, you know what? I got 4 trucks and 2 boats, and I can't pay for them. The answer is to go buy a 5th boat and a 2nd, 3rd boat and a 5th home, 5th car. Is that the answer? Go run up more debt to take care of my problem. Folks, I tell you what, I'm not that bright, I admit it, but boy, I'd never figure these people out. Do more of what you've been doing that got you in trouble. Do more of it, and it's going to get you out of trouble. Wish my daddy would have taught me that. Damn, daddy. He didn't teach me that. He didn't teach me, do it again, son, do it again. And you're going to get out of it. He never taught me that. God, I wish he was here so he can re-explain it to me. All right, folks, we got to take a break. The rest of y'all stick around.
For the absolute best in local Cajun food, check out Prejean's in their 2 locations in Carencro and Broussard today.
News Talk, 96.5, KPEL, Brobridge, Lafayette, a Town Square media station, broadcasting from the Matthew James Financial Studio.
A call for change to make peace in the Middle East. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News, and it's coming from the U.S. Senate.
If Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's current coalition is in power after the war in Gaza winds down, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says the U.S. will have no choice but to use leverage to change the present course.
I believe a new election is the only way to allow for a healthy and open decision-making process about the future of Israel.
In a lengthy speech on the Senate floor, Schumer says Palestinian leadership must also change for a lasting peace and a 2-state solution to be viable, calling on the Palestinian people to reject Hamas and extremism in their midst.
Fox's Jared Halpern. The president's heading to a campaign event in Michigan. In that state's Democratic primary, more than 100,000 voters chose uncommitted to protest his Mideast policy. Former President Trump spending time in a federal courtroom in Florida as his attorneys argue for the classified documents case against him to be thrown out.
Former President Trump and 2 of his aides have been charged with mishandling classified documents. Those documents were recovered from his residence at Mar-a-Lago after his presidency in 2022. One of the key arguments his attorneys are expected to make is based on the Presidential Records Act. That will be an argument that these documents were personal.
Fox's Steve Harrigan at the courthouse in Fort Pierce. A federal judge sets a tentative date in early June for Hunter Biden's gun-related case.
Special counsel David Weiss says Hunter lied on a federal firearm form in 2018 when he answered no to having a drug addiction. The president's son already heading to trial in June, on June 20th in Los Angeles for federal criminal tax charges.
Fox's David Spunt in Washington. An earthquake off the coast of eastern Japan. Preliminary magnitude 5.8. No tsunami warning. No immediate reports of any damage. America is listening to Fox News.
Fraudulent tax returns due to identity theft increased by 30% in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Their U.S.-based restoration specialists are dedicated to helping solve identity theft issues, and all plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which means if you lose money because of identity theft, LifeLock will reimburse you up to the limits of your plan. Help protect your information with LifeLock. Go to LifeLock.com and save up to 25% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. Are you still on the fence about owning gold? It's time to pull the trigger with the Oxford Gold Group and buy gold and silver. Nobody can predict the future, but we can't put our head in the sand either. The Oxford Gold Group are the pros. They make owning gold and silver simple and easy to understand. Call Oxford Gold Group right now and you may qualify for up to $10,000 in free precious metals. Call 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD.
The Catholic Church in France compensates nearly 500 child sex abuse victims, with many more to come.
The independent body in charge of helping victims of abuse inside the French Catholic Church says more than 1,300 have come forward for compensation and support. 2/3 of them are men. 489 have so far received payouts, averaging some $38,000. Reparations aren't all financial. Victims are receiving help to write down their stories, meet church representatives, or get counselling. A report in 2021 estimated 330,000 kids were abused inside France's Catholic Church in the last 70 years. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Canada's foreign minister just confirming that only essential employees remain at the country's embassy in Haiti, where the U.S. had already reduced staff because of the government's power struggle with violent gangs. Inflation remains elevated, with wholesale prices rising more than economists expected last month, up 0.6% from January and 1.6% year over year. That could add to caution about cutting interest rates as the Fed meets next week. As inflation soared last year, a record number of working Americans made emergency withdrawals from their 401ks. This from Vanguard, a company that manages millions of retirement accounts.
Nearly 3.6% of workers made hardship withdrawals, up from 2.8% the year before. Hardship withdrawals allow you to tap your 401k for, quote, an immediate and heavy financial need. But the penalty is also heavy. 10% early withdrawal fee if you're under age 59 and a half, unless you have a qualified hardship like medical bills. Plus, you owe income tax on it, and you can't pay your 401k back. But about 40% of workers who dipped into their 401ks last year did it to avoid home foreclosure. Therese Crowley, Fox News.
Stocks are lower. The Dow's down 75 points. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.